Now, in its 11th year, this is Gabnet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, everybody. This is Alex. We're live from New York City and from Harlem, and this is the Ramble. This will be our last get-together with Larry Bubbles Brown before the Christmas break. So, Merry Christmas!
Happy holidays, Hanukkah, whatever we're celebrating.
Are you? Do you like Christmas?
Not really. It's I don't. But then you and I hate everything. So
We hate everything. Yeah,
we hate everything.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't like Christmas, and the reason I don't like it is number one, I'm Jewish, and I always felt left out. Okay.
I wonder. Yeah. Do you think most Jewish people feel that way?
Well, my parents on Christmas Day would give me a bunch of presents. In fact, my birthday's a week before Christmas. So when my birthday came, they would give me lots of presents. And then they would give me lots of presents on Christmas so that I felt the equal of all the kids in the neighborhood, you know? Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of presents over a period of 2 weeks. But a lot of people who are that close to Christmas only get one present, you know. So I was lucky. My parents were very nice about that. But I just felt, you know, to begin with, the Christmas carols never applied to me. And so whenever I was forced to sing them, I just hummed them.
Oh, yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what happened. I love to tell this story. You remember Michael Pritchard?
Of course.
He's still around, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's still alive and kicking?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we're in Union Square in San Francisco, and they're holding a kind of Christmas gathering for people. And so it was for some kind of cause, I don't know, Toys for Tots or whatever. I can't remember what it was. But we're all standing there, and we're singing. Then they're singing, here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus. Well, that's fine with me. You know, it's non-religious. And Michael Pritchard is standing right next to me. And all of a sudden, they start singing one of the Silent Night, Holy Night, Round and Virgin with Mother and Child. And I can't sing that. I won't sing it. So I'm kind of humming it, you know.
Oh, God.
And Pritchard looks over at me while I'm humming it and goes, "Hey, Alex, it couldn't hurt to sing." And I knew that he was a former drug addict or alcoholic. That was it. And he said, it couldn't hurt to sing. And I looked at him and said, well, okay, Michael, have a drink. It couldn't hurt. And he shut up. You know, I mean, come on. I don't want to sing it.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I will be, thrown out of the Jewish religion if I sing it.
Yeah,
but,
you don't want to get one religion.
And the other one that used to get to me is I go to school. I went to Garfield School, which was right across the street from where I lived. I didn't have to walk far to go to school, up on Telegraph Hill. And they would bring in every now and then, since we had a church down at the bottom of the hill, St. Peter's and St. Paul, they would bring somebody up from St. Peter's and St. Paul, like a priest, and he would do a prayer, to start off the school day or whatever, or an assembly. I can't remember what it was exactly. And he would go, well, let's bow our heads and pray. Dear God, please help us, blah, 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 make us better people, blah, 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 whatever the blah, blah, blah was. And I'm fine. I've got my head bowed, And all of a sudden they sneak in that one phrase that is an anathema to every Jew. And that phrase is, "In Jesus' name we pray, amen." And they do it really quickly, so you can't raise your head fast, you know. So that's what growing up Jewish in an all-Catholic neighborhood was like.
Yeah, that would be a little uncomfortable.
And, of course, there's the other story I like to tell. I don't know if you ever heard this one, so I'll tell it anyway for the 8 millionth time. There was a guy named Father Larry, and he was a nice guy, really nice, a young priest, you know. I think he was still old enough that he began to wonder why he gave up sex. But anyway, what happened was, if you, in those days, you went to the movies on Saturday, and they would always have, like, you know, a serial, and then they would have, like, a Western or something like that. And then all week long, the kids in the neighborhood would play the movie. It was just a tradition. You played the movie. I mean, you acted it out. So, are you following me so far on this one? Yeah. So, anyway, one day I go to the theater and there's hardly anybody there. And I went, "Where are all the kids? I came to the movie at the Palace Theater." And I don't know if it's still there, but, you know, at the Palace Theater, and there are no kids there. And one of the kids says, "Oh, they're all over at the church. The church is now running movies on Saturday." So all the kids are going to the church because, number one, it's free. Number two, their parents told them to go. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, well, what do I do? How do I get to go to that movie? They said, well, all you have to do is go to confession, and they give you a ticket. And I went, "Where's confession?" They said, "Over at the church." All you go in, they say, "Father, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." And then you tell him something you did wrong during the week, and then he'll absolve you and give you a ticket. So I figured that's easy enough. You know, I just want to be with the rest of the kids so I can act out whatever movie they were watching. So I go over to the church and I do my confession, as prescribed by the person who told me how to do it. And I got the ticket and I went to the movies. I did this for several weeks. And finally, I'm walking down the street one day in front of St. Peter's and St. Paul, and Father Larry comes over and says, "Oh, your son is Bennett here?" And she went, "Yes." He says, "Such a good boy. He comes to confession every week." Well, if my mother could have swallowed her tongue, she would have done it. Okay? And as we're walking up the hill, my butt is hurting because she's hitting it going, "Don't ever go to confession again." So that's how I was ratted out by Father Larry.
They almost converted you.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I was a kid. I just wanted to hang out with the other kids.
Well, that's why I thought when I was quite young, but I remember so explosive when the Supreme Court made that decision to get the religion the fuck out of school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. So, you know, but I you know, it was an anathema to me that I, as a Jew, had to say a prayer that ended in "Jesus Christ we name and we pray, amen."
Yeah.
You know, it's not that I have anything against Jesus outside of the fact that he probably never existed, but, you know, I just, you know, I'm a Jew, and we don't go along with that. And so you're forced sometimes into a world in which you don't feel comfortable. And it was an all-Catholic neighborhood, North Beach at the time. It was Italian primarily. So Italian that every basement in that on my hill had a wine thing, you know, a wine vat. They would make wine in this giant vat in their basements. And so every basement smelled of wine. I remember that distinctly. But anyway, it was a Catholic neighborhood, and I grew up in it, and I realized that. My parents explained it to me. These people are of another religion than we are. And my parents were very good at handling it for me. But it just was, it did get a little dicey now and then because some kids would find out I was a Jew, and then they would say, I killed Christ.
Jesus.
And I began to feel guilty about killing Christ. Your people killed Christ. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'm sorry. Can I apologize now?
Well, I grew up in a heavily Catholic neighborhood myself, and I remember feeling a little kind of an outsider myself. They were, if you weren't a Catholic, you're going to hell, and what the fuck's going?
Well, then they would show me things like their catechism. Have you ever seen a catechism?
No.
This was the book they had that they read out of to learn all about being a Catholic, right? And it has like Catholic prayers in it and so on and so forth. But it also has these absolutely scary pictures of Christ being crucified. And it's like blood coming out of his side and everything like that. And I just went, wow, geez almighty, what is this? But, it was not easy growing up in an all-Catholic neighborhood if you were Jewish. You just have to avoid the pitfalls of that.
Yeah.
But what religion were you when you were growing up?
We were Episcopal, which is...
what the hell is that?
I think it's similar to Catholics, but it's not quite as severe, I think.
Yeah.
They don't do Latin and everything, but...
Did your parents take you to church and everything, or did they just say...
We did for a while. I remember I hated it. I remember they'd try to get me in the pew, and I would fight them, and they'd be pushing me in.
Oh.
So I must have hated religion, but...
wow.
I remember just being bored out of my skull.
Yeah. My parents took me, to a synagogue once in a great while, usually on some high holy day or something like that. But they weren't my father wasn't that religious. What they did is they would go to a synagogue on Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, what was it? The one that the high holy day, I think it's Yom Kippur. And they would hold if somebody had died in your family, you went because they did the Kaddish or something like that, the Kol Nidra, that's what it was called, and it's the prayer for the dead or the song for the dead or whatever. So you go to that because you had a relative that died, and when my grandparents died, my father started going to that. But that was about the extent of our religious. My parents sent me, oddly enough, to Sunday school at the Jewish Community Center. And they did it on Sunday. Actually, they should have done it on Saturday, but they did it on Sunday. That's how Jewish they were in Marin County. And we had a Jewish Community Center there, and we went there and we did stuff. And I was bar mitzvahed. My parents wanted me bar mitzvahed. So I went and did that. Cheated on my bar mitzvah. Because you go to this guy, and for weeks he tries to teach you how to speak, what do you call it, Hebrew. And so that you can read from the Torah, which is what you do when you finally become a man, as it were. And so I went to this guy. I couldn't learn Hebrew to save my life. It just looked like a bunch of squiggly pictures, And finally, he just did the whole service and whispered in my ear, "Say this now," say this now. And I said it, and I immediately I became a man. So anyway,
I remember Yom Kippur in the 1965 World Series. Sandy Koufax, the first game was on Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur was the holiday for the dead. Yeah.
Yeah. So the L.A. got creamed by Minnesota, and the Minnesota manager said, "Got any more Jewish holidays?"
But I don't think either you or I have been particularly religious in our.
No, and looking back, I remember my father. Both my parents are pretty much atheistic, so I don't even know why we went to church.
Well, my parents weren't atheistic, but they weren't religious either. So and I didn't mind. I really didn't mind being Jewish, because there was less to it than being Catholic. Okay? In other
Catholic's
words,
very complicated.
you
Yeah, I
could
remember
never
that.
go to a synagogue in your life, and you're still a Jew, right? But you don't go to church every week, you're no longer a Catholic. And I felt that the Jews missed a big opportunity in getting more converts just by simply saying, hey, come join the Jewish religion. We don't excommunicate. And everybody would rush over there and go, hey, good, don't excommunicate me. I'll be a Jew. No, Jews don't get excommunicated. There's nothing you can do to get the Jewish religion to, discard you. But Catholics, they got to do a lot of stuff to stay Catholic.
Yeah.
And
I remember I being on the playground at the Catholic school with my friends, and the priest came out one day, and there's a couple of us weren't Catholic, and he said, you guys that aren't Catholic, you're going to hell.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what's hell? I think we're living it right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think death probably is a relief from hell.
Yeah, this is where we must have done something really bad.
Well, the only thing is, I am not religious. And so, therefore, I wish I were, because then I would think I was going to a better place. But I'm not. Yeah, I don't think I am, And at my age, I wake up every morning wondering, is this my last day on earth? That's how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so Marjorie isn't afraid of death. She doesn't
people
care.
aren't, no. Mm-hmm.
She says it'll be a blessed relief. We have too much stuff to do here. That's the problem, so death is a relief. But anyway, we're sitting here, and it's a few days after the fact, and we should, when you're listening to this, because we play it on Fridays, but the whole Carl Reiner thing with his wife, have you heard about this?
Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner, excuse me, Carl Reiner. Rob Reiner, you've heard about it, right?
Right.
That he was murdered.
Right.
And his wife was murdered, and they think maybe it was the son.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of sad. I feel bad about, I never knew the guy, never met the guy.
You never had him on the show?
Never had him on the show, no. We did have the people on from Spinal Tap at one time, but he wasn't with them, okay? But I felt very bad about it. And then Trump said nasty things about him.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he deserves to die. He had Trump derangement syndrome.
Jesus.
That's what killed him. His hate for me killed him. That's Trump. Wow. He turns around and makes it all about himself. All you have to say is, gee, I'm sorry to hear about it.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of great movies, and he's going to be missed. What a tragedy. And then you move on. But no, he has to turn it into something about him. So, I don't know. But anyway, it's funny, we're talking about religion, and we didn't even think about it. We were doing it on the edge of Christmas, and this is our happy Christmas show.
It's our Christmas show, and the thing I like about Christmas is there's so many celebrities that have died on Christmas Day. So.
Like who?
Well, W.C. Fields.
Died on Christmas Day. Oh.
Charlie Chaplin.
Christmas Day?
Dean Martin.
Christmas Day. Wow.
James Brown.
Really?
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 more. Yeah, it's a
keep going. If you have them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe you should ask Siri. Yeah, I had a whole list up there. I thought Dean, let's see, W.C. Fields and Chaplin were interesting because they were both great rivals.
Were they rivals?
They hated each other. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, son of a bitch. Why? I'm wondering why they hated each other. Was
probably jealous,
or was it something personal?
I think no, it was something. It was professional jealousy. Oh yeah.
I was never a big fan of Charlie Chaplin. I realized why he was great. He was terrific. But he was not my cup of tea. How about you? Did you like Chaplin?
Some of the physical things he do I thought were amazing. Yeah, but
I thought, The Great Dictator is a great movie. There's no question about it in my mind. But outside of that, I understand why he was great. And he was very good at what he did. But the fact that he was the prototype for Hitler... have you ever thought about it?
No, that's funny.
I figured that when Hitler said, I want to be the most loved person in the world. Who's the most loved person in the world now? Oh, Hitler. I'll get a mustache just like, Hitler said, I'll get a mustache just like Chaplin's.
Wow.
And then people will love me because they won't know why they love me, but it's because they love Chaplin. That's my theory.
That's an interesting theory.
Yeah. And I don't hear it very much from anybody. And, Hitler was, he was the most hated person in the world. Mm-hmm. But it was interesting that when Chaplin played basically Hitler in The Great Dictator, he didn't have to change his persona. He still was that Chaplin character.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing. Just amazing. But it's amazing that Chaplin hated W.C. Fields, and the reverse was true as well. Did one hate the other because the other hated him, or did they just hate each other naturally?
From what I recall, they both were kind of jealous of each other's success and what they did.
I think Chaplin was far more successful than W.C. Fields.
Oh, absolutely.
So why would he be jealous of anybody?
Right.
And then let's see here. I'm trying to think. Who else? Anybody else die on Christmas that we haven't?
George Michael, the singer.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And anybody else?
That's 5 or 6. There's at least 3 or 4 more.
Wow. Well, wait a minute. Let me type it in here. I can type it in here, right? Yeah. What famous celebrities? What?
That died on Christmas
famous.
The first one will be Jesus.
No, he didn't die on Christmas. Died? Oh, no, come on. What famous celebrities were born on, died on Christmas? On Christmas Day. Okay. What famous people died on Christmas Day? James Brown, Dean Martin, Joan Blondell. Do you remember Joan Blondell?
Yeah, I remember the name.
She was an actress, yeah. Eartha Kitt. Helen Joseph. I don't know who that is. Billy Martin.
Oh, the baseball manager.
Yeah.
That's right. He died in a car crash.
Charlie Chaplin, George Michael, and Harry Tyson Moore. I don't know who he was at all, but,
Okay.
Anybody else? Joan Moreau, the Spanish surrealist painter. Johnny Ace, a pioneering R&B singer. Nicolae Cusco, dictator of Romania. I think he got killed, actually.
Firing squad, yeah.
Yeah, firing squad. On Christmas Day, wow.
They were mad.
What a lousy Christmas that is. Anyway, that's the notable people that have died. We got them all.
That's a pretty good list.
And it looks like we've run out of time here. We've run out of a year. Do you realize that,
quick.
Larry?
I know. Another year gone by. I was just thinking about that.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year to you and yours.
Great. Let's hoping 26 will be good.
And we'll see you in 26.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Bubbles Brown. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Alex.
Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And that's the last Larry Brown for this year. Boy, we've done almost 400, I think, episodes with Larry Brown. I have to look the exact number, but we should be approaching 400. And that's over a period since 2016. So I thank him for his participation, and we will see him out in California for the big show. Big show, my ass. It's just a show that we're doing at the Sketch Fest. Oh, Sketch Fest. I'm going to have to do sketches. Anyway, listen, by the time I get there, they're going to hate me so much they won't even let me get on stage, you know. But anyway, how are you? How are you? This is our last show of the year. Yeah, absolutely. Last show of the year. We will take a 2-week hiatus starting next week as we go into the holiday season, and it's kind of I could have come back on a Friday, but I figured I'd just let's give me one extra day. But it's 2 weeks. We haven't. It isn't really exactly 2 weeks because GabNet doesn't go off. We still got our guys doing a show on Monday. And I'm doing the Monday show, as I always like to do. And then, so it kind of starts next Christmas Eve. So it's 2 weeks. It's almost 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks if you look at it that way. It's just where everything fell was kind of different than it usually is. Anyway, but it means I don't have to do anything except that show. And I may do a show on New Year's Eve, by the way, as well. A lot of people ask me about that. They like it when I do the New Year's Eve show, and then I think about it and I go, well, what else do I have to do? You know? So then I say, well, to hell with it. Then I'll do it. You know. So anyway, so I will go ahead and do a show on next Monday, and I will do a show the following Monday, and then I will do a show probably on New Year's Eve. So anyway, that's our schedule. But let's bring in some people here that are waiting to be part of this fine little gathering. And let me just put this up here. There we go. There they are. There's Jeff, and there's Charlie, and there's Kevin, and there's Alan, and there's Josh Wheeler, and it's a Friday night here on the Ramble. How you all doing? Oh wait a minute, I got to turn your mics up. How you all doing?
Okay.
Okay, now
happy belated birthday.
Weren't you here last night?
No, I heard Phil Meyer on the show, and I purposely didn't get on.
Oh, okay, you weren't here. Yeah.
He occupied the first 10 minutes of talking about something he's talked about 10 other times.
Like what? What was that?
About that he met you in 1973 and how and what you were doing, and you were locked in the garage and all this other stuff.
Hey, it's only once a year. Come on.
Yeah,
and come on, be nice.
And ask him next time you want to know why he goes to Ruth Chris. One is it's only a couple blocks from his house, and it is good. But he always orders the $15 steak sandwich.
Is that all he orders?
Usually, yeah. Maybe sometimes he gets a glass of wine.
What's in the steak sandwich that it's only $15?
Yeah. Like 4 ounces of steak and some bread, which is, good. It's good. It's a good.
They see him coming, they go, close the doors, quick, close the doors.
He has to get there early enough to get in the bar because you can only get it in the bar. I've
He
met him
always
there.
talked about how wonderful Ruth's, you have to get this right, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse is, and how he loves going there, and he never mentions he's a cheapskate and buys the cheapest thing he can possibly get at Ruth's Chris.
The only time I remember him spending any more than that was my birthday, like a year or two ago. We ordered a steak, an $80 steak, and split it. And then we split
it. You split it.
And split. He says, "Let's order a steak and we'll split it."
What did you do? Eat it like Lady and the Tramp?
No. We ordered New York strip, and it was good. And he was paying for it, so I didn't care. I didn't need the whole steak. So we ordered a couple side dishes. He's always very generous.
So why didn't you call me on my birthday? Because he was on?
I actually sent you a text on your birthday, and you didn't respond.
Well, I get so many texts on my birthday,
Okay.
I don't even read them all anymore.
It doesn't matter. You ask how come. I gave you the reason.
Alex, I didn't send you a text or anything, but happy birthday.
Oh,
belated.
thank you very much, Pam. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah. Everybody writes me and says, "Well, happy belated birthday."
I didn't say that. I said happy birthday.
And I go, yeah, you forgot, right? Don't try to make up for it.
No.
You forgot.
I didn't forget, but I decided that you already said you got about 700.
I don't read all of them. I can't.
And what are you going to do? You're not even going to look at
I
it.
can't. I think
That's
yesterday.
right.
I think yesterday it was something like 400, 450.
He didn't even
something
respond
like
to mine either, Jeff, so don't feel bad.
Sometimes if I see somebody as I'm scrolling down, as I'm attempting to scroll down, that I haven't talked to in years, I might answer them, But that's about it, I mean, get so many of them. And I know most of them aren't even sincere. Most of them are people who got a thing that from Facebook that said, "It's Alex Bennett's birthday. Do you want to wish him a happy birthday?" And you go, "Yes." And then they send, "Happy birthday, Alex," from Bob Smith in Pawtucket, Idaho or something,
That's why I didn't send mine to Facebook. I sent it to your phone.
Yeah, you did. You did. And I thank you very much, Kevin. I really appreciate it.
That's why I sent it to your phone.
Did you send it to my phone?
I did, but I don't have Facebook. I get family Facebook, and it doesn't have friends on it, so that's all I use Facebook for.
Really?
Yeah, we have a family.
Okay. Well,
Anyhow, no, I sent it to your phone, phone number. So.
Yeah. And hello, hello, Josh.
Hello.
Okay. That was a jolly hello. And if anybody else wants to call, you're welcome to do so. You simply go to the Gabnet page, gabnet.net, and in the middle column there are a whole bunch of names at the bottom, one of which is mine. You click on that, and that sends you over to our Zoom group. Okay? So anyway, we're getting ready for the holiday season.
Yes.
Once again, I call it a holiday season because I'm Jewish.
Well, Hanukkah's going on right now, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we have the Hanukkah, and then after that we have Christmas, and then after that we have Kwanzaa. Can you hardly wait for Kwanzaa, Charlie?
I'm on bated breath. Yeah.
If I were black, I think I would mind them always saying, "and a happy Kwanzaa to you," because again, it's like saying happy belated birthday, It's like we did nothing for black people. Oh, wait a minute, we better give them a holiday. Oh, wait a minute, we gave them Martin Luther King's birthday, but they don't take off Kwanzaa. It's not a national holiday, okay? What are they doing? Do they do anything special on Kwanzaa? Do you want to give us a...
I have no idea. It didn't exist when I was a kid.
It didn't exist till the 1950s, when it was invented by a professor like UCLA or someplace like that. And people it kind of lingered there for quite a few years until somebody said, "Oh, hey, Kwanzaa." But I don't think it represents any special incident or anything like that. I may be wrong because
we're getting 2 new holidays according to Trump. I don't know what they are, but
one of them's got to be Trump's birthday. There's no question about that.
Yeah, 2 new federal holidays.
Yeah. No, are we getting 2 new now? How dare he do that? That means that a lot of bosses are going to have to pay their people extra money for taking the day off. Huh?
Martin Luther King Day and Juneteenth. So
he got rid of. Well, did he get rid of them? No.
Yeah.
He used to be able to get in free to national parks on those holidays, and now you can't any longer.
That was fast.
Huh?
That was fast.
Yeah.
What did it take, like 3 weeks?
Yeah, but there is something that has to do with Trump that he is allowing them to allow people in for free, and I can't remember what that is right now.
You got to buy one of those little gold cards.
With this picture on it, yeah.
For $1 million or whatever.
What are the new holidays he's doing?
I don't know.
One of them's his birthday, June 14th, because it's Flag Day.
It's also Flag Day.
Oh, how lucky.
Which was never a holiday to begin with.
No.
And, what are we supposed to do? Sing Happy Birthday, Dear Flag, Happy Birthday, Dear Flag. Jesus, I don't get it. I don't get any of it. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But
I see. There's a bill. There was a bill submitted to Congress, for Flag Day. So they're going to call it Trump's birthday and Flag Day.
Right. Okay.
Oh my God.
What's the other one, Ray? Since you're there now.
Victory Day. But that was.
What is that?
No, that was renaming Veterans Day to Victory Day.
Oh.
Veterans Day to Victory Day?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was scrapped.
Wasn't that formerly called VD Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they handed out free penicillin.
Yeah, that's right. I knew you'd say that.
I knew it too.
That's very important.
I like what Tom Yamaguchi brought up yesterday. It would be nice if we could all get Paxlovid ahead of time, like you do for whatever allergy pills or whatever.
Well, yeah. Although there are certain things that a doctor kind of has to take into account when he gives it to you, like if you have kidney problems. Well, what they have to do is they have to give you a different kind of dose or a part. You get two. There are 2 doses of 2 different things in Paxlovid, and one of them gets thrown out if you've got some kidney problems like I do.
And also there's other things. I have 2 blood pressure pills I take and Lipitor.
Yeah.
And I had to cut down each one for a certain number of days.
Yeah.
For a week. So Lipitor and if a certain prostate drug, which I think is an alpha blocker, which is originally a blood pressure pill, and asthma medicine, the inhaled. Yeah. Some of the inhaled medicine you can take, some you can't. Mm-hmm. So they got to be careful of those things.
Yeah, I had to do both the blood pressure and the Lipitor.
Yeah, so it's something a doctor probably should prescribe because he knows your background. However, I think I got Paxlovid once at a local, walk-in medical place. And I said, I've got COVID. See, I got the stick here. I got the COVID. And they said, okay, here's Paxlovid. Do you have a problem with kidneys? Yeah, I have a little kidney problem. Okay, well, then we take that 1 pill out of there. Still works, but they take that 1 pill out of there. And I think now they don't even take the pill out. They're just two different packets.
Yeah, they're 2 packets.
Yeah.
If you can't remember the name, you just say, "Can I have that Jerry Lewis medicine?"
Paxlovid.
Here's the messy thing for me. I had COVID once a year ago, and the doctor they gave me was supposed to be a COVID doctor. And 2 of the medicines that I take, she says you take 2, Lipitor and Advair for asthma. She says, but you can't take those, so we can't give you this. And we went bouncing around from doctor to doctor to doctor. I ended up like Kevin he said last night that you didn't get the pills until 5 days. They wouldn't give me the pills. They wanted to give me some kind of something else. And and that there are two big journals, one written by South America and one in England. When this first came out, they found out what pills don't mix with it, and they tell you what to use as an alternate. Like for Valium, if you're on Valium,
you just don't take those pills for 5 days.
Right, right. But if it's an important pill, say you have really high anxiety and you're on Valium or whatever reason you're on Valium, you can take a different drug in the benzodiazepine family. But this doctor didn't. She jerked me around. I am a class A. I don't know how to put this.
Class A.
I'm the perfect candidate. I'm overweight and I have asthma to be on Paxlovid, but I got screwed around for so long that I never got it in time.
Yeah, so they might have killed you by just taking too long.
Well, fortunately, I had a mild case, and
yeah.
But
I think I've taken Paxlovid 3 times.
You have?
Really? I've taken it twice.
Yeah, I've had COVID 3 times, and I've taken Paxlovid each time.
Yeah. It just makes
you ended up with long COVID, didn't you?
I did get long COVID twice.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Anyway, and let's see here. So we're going to be gone for 2 weeks. Are you going to miss me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And then I'll probably be gone for a week at the end of the month, too, because we're doing the thing in San Francisco. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do a show here. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
New Year's Eve.
You can have a Monday show?
I'll probably do New Year's Eve. Yeah. We'll do New Year's Eve.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah. So, usually what happens is it's a meshing of the people who do the Monday show, who will usually call that show, and then the people call this show, So it's, be nice. It'd be nice. I'm only going to do about maybe a half hour or something like that. I'm not going to do, a whole hour plus, but we'll just get to midnight. And
you had like 20 people that are, on New Year's Eve of this year.
Did we all told right here?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just the night crew. You had, like you said, the Monday crew too, and there were a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so that's our schedule. If and the only reason I'm doing is because I love the Monday show, so I'll do both the Monday shows over the holiday, and I will do that New Year's show. But that'll be it. We won't be doing the Ramble basically, and also the other shows like Damien's and the sports show. They're not going to do anything on the holiday either. So, yeah. Anyway, so anybody going to do anything special for the new year? Yes, Jeff?
On Monday, we're getting into the car, and we're going south.
To Florida.
But we stop at different sisters.
And you stop at different sisters. What, of your wife's sisters or your sisters?
Well, my one sister is the first one we see.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2 after that are Pam's sisters.
There's somebody in Atlanta, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did we know that, Jeff?
I don't know. I probably told you.
Probably told me. Yeah.
I had to remember what I'm doing.
It's okay.
I should have written it down.
Wait till you get to my age.
Well, I don't call people on saying things over and over again anymore, because when Marjorie does and I call her on it, she starts screaming and yelling at me. So now I just say, oh, okay, all right, fine. She's telling that story again. Yeah. But
I've heard some stories so many times by people that are older than me.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to get that way. I went to pick up a prescription the other day. I'm sitting in the parking lot going, what am I doing here? The only thing I do in that is pick up a prescription.
Why were you sitting in the parking lot?
I went to Kaiser to pick up a prescription. They won't give you, I take a narcotic for back problems, and they won't give you the Norco in the mail anymore. They'll send you everything else, but not Norco, because of.
What do you mean? You mean Norco? Is that that's the What's Norco?
It's a narcotic painkiller.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I never heard of it.
It's Vicodin, which is another name brand. Norco's a name brand,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but it's got Vicodin has 500 milligrams of Tylenol in it, and this has 325, so it lowers your risk of having kidney or liver failure.
Yeah. I try not to take. That
I wish
anymore.
I wish I could do the same. I just sometimes I wake up and Tylenol doesn't do it. So
Yeah. Well, I try Tylenol over anything.
it's 20 pills a month that they'll give me, and I rarely go through them all. But
Well, I have slight kidney problems. So
you have to be careful.
it shows up in my blood thing. Can't remember the component, but anyway, so I'm fine. But anyway, yeah, how's everything up in Oregon there, Kevin? I asked you this last night, but I will, of course, ask you again.
Wetter.
Yeah, it was dry today.
Was it really?
Yeah,
Oh, you send the rain down here, didn't you?
probably. It looks like you guys are going to get a bunch.
We got rain here today. Pretty good rainstorm, as a matter of
That's
fact,
good.
and the wind was hellacious here. I could
Last-
hear it outside the window. Yeah.
Yeah, we had that like 3 days ago, and we lost one tree, blocked my driveway, so I had to pull it out with my truck. And then had all kinds of crap on the roof and all that stuff. But part of living here, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's do you have a lot of trees right around the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can fall and the leaves can come off and branches can drop and.
Yeah, it makes it a pretty interesting night on a windy night. We
Yeah.
found that out.
Well,
Power went out and big branches started hitting the roof.
Are the trees anything like edible? I mean, not the tree, but do they produce anything?
oh yeah, pine is great for lunch. I always
yeah.
like having pine for
like
lunch.
peaches or pears or
Good fiber. Yeah.
We've got
Yeah.
apples and blackberries, but we're looking at putting in some blueberry bushes too.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
But, yeah, that's nice. And how about you, Josh? How's your part of the world?
Going good.
Yeah.
Not too bad, yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Doing what I do normally.
Yeah, doing what you do normally. Anything are you paying attention to the news, or are you still avoiding it, like you were saying?
I'm not actively seeking it out, I suppose would be the way I would say it, but I mean, I'm aware of, what's going on in the world because it's out there, I mean, you could turn it off if you really wanted to. I'm just saying I'm not actively seeking it out, but I check the Washington Post website
Yeah.
and, whatever I hear on a radio or something like that, so I'm aware, yeah.
Yeah. Today, the Justice Department released the Epstein files, or kind of released the Epstein files. They were so redacted that you can't find out anything, except they were happy to show pictures of President Clinton, with him. Apparently, what?
They were wealthy, and so what?
Well,
So
I mean,
Clinton was there. It doesn't mean that Clinton had sex with 14-year-olds.
look, my friend Bobby Slayton knew, Epstein.
There you go. And Bobby probably is not doing 14-year-olds either.
No, he stayed at one of his homes. He had an apartment building, and he put him up there whenever he would come to New York.
Well, there you go. So,
And he knew him, But I mean, so what? Just because
That's
you know him,
Yeah.
I'm going to assume so far that the amount that Trump knew him was just that he knew him because he sought out political people, well-known people, celebrities, and it wasn't like he necessarily invited them over. Here's a young girl, have fun with her. I imagine that happens sometimes, but I don't think it happened with Woody Allen. You question as to whether it might have happened with Bill Clinton, however, because he was such a horn dog that you kind of,
And Trump isn't?
Oh, Trump, I have no doubt that Trump had sex with Epstein's girls.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind. But he's the president of the United States, and he says he didn't, so I'm going to believe him.
There you go.
Because he's president. And of course, it's all Biden's fault. I think Biden had some of those young girls, didn't he? Boy.
Biden.
And the speech the other night was just...
Oh, my God.
It was amazing. They said that almost everything he said was a lie.
Yep.
And he only did 20 minutes. You know why he did 20 minutes? Because usually you give him time, he's going to take 2 hours and bore you to death.
Gave him 15, 20 minutes. That was it.
They gave him 20 minutes, and the reason they gave him 20 minutes is CBS said, we've got the finale of Survivor, and we don't want you interrupting it that much. You can only get 20 minutes from us.
Don't you like how he changed the subject every 2 minutes?
Did he do that?
He changed the subject quite a bit in his speech.
Yeah.
Because he had to get it in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what happened with his speech. He could only do 20 minutes because they had to get Survivor on, the finale of Survivor. When have you ever heard a president being told that that's all they were going to give him because,
Well, he only gave him like 2 days notice.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. So they had a lot of their fall finales ready to go. Yeah. All the networks. I think even NBC had something going. They knew he was going to just talk, and they weren't going to put up with it. So he really had a prepared speech, and all he did was read the prepared speech. He was just reading it right off a teleprompter, and occasionally throwing a word or two to kind of embellish it. But that was it,
My favorite lie is when he says that prescription drugs are going to be cut by 600%.
Yeah.
That means that if something cost you $100, that they would pay you $500.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
To get them at.
Well, this is a guy who went to where was the school he went to? Wharton.
Yeah.
Which is a big financial institution.
I guess he was sleeping.
How did he graduate that without knowing that there's no such thing as 400% of anything?
They had somebody do the tests for him.
Yeah.
Decreased by 400%.
Decreased by 400%.
He said, in some cases, 600%.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, God. I'm getting too old for this crap.
And all the MAGA people are like, oh, that's awesome. 600%. See how great it is?
Let me see here. Also,
Phil probably likes that 600%. I'm sure Phil likes that 600% cut.
Yeah. Have you asked him about the 600%, Alan?
No.
Okay. Next time you see him, just ask him about 600%. Okay. How's he going to lower it by 600%?
Phil just changed the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, he claims, according to Alan, that the whole situation with him making comments about Rob Reiner's death was all AI generated.
Trump doesn't even say it's AI. Trump
he doubled down on it the next day. Oh, but that may have been an AI Trump as well. So.
Oh my God!
Such an embarrassment.
So he actually called me last night to correct me because he listened to the show.
Yeah.
And he said, I didn't say it was. I said it may be.
Oh.
Excuse me. Whatever.
Living in some.
There's only so much you can blame on Biden, and there's only so much you can blame on AI. So whatever. But it's daunting, and we're going into this Christmas season. It's just supposed to be a season of renewal and a season of hope, and kindness and so on. And that was the meanest speech I've ever heard.
Yep.
He yelled half of it.
Even at the end of it, he said, "And have a happy holiday."
Yeah.
And the meanest thing I've seen him write was about Rob Reiner and his wife.
Well, that was terrible. It's just absolutely terrible.
God.
Yeah. It was unconscionable.
Even the MAGA people were upset by that.
Everyone loves Rob Reiner. Even if you don't agree with what he says, the guy's like he's just the nicest guy.
There are people who hate his politics.
His politics, but it's so hard to hate him personally. It's just hard.
No, but a lot of people will hate him personally because of his politics.
No, that's true. That's true.
I don't imagine that, that certain people we know, Alan, love him, because of his politics, which were very leftist.
Yep.
Interesting. Today they had a thing where they were voting on a bill to give money to kids who have cancer. Okay? And it lost by one vote.
Yep.
What do you think the one vote was? You know, right, Charlie?
No, I just heard they lost by one vote.
Yeah, it was Bernie Sanders. He felt that he didn't want to vote for it because he felt that there should be a larger bill that would take care of all kids with cancer in all situations and take care of kids who have any kind of disease. And that this was not a great bill. This was just a measure they could pass and then say, "Oh, look what we did." So he actually voted against it. So.
And he'll get ridiculed for voting against it because nobody will know that other part of the story.
Yeah, well, it was just not that he felt was not a good idea.
Right, and that's the thing with Bernie is sometimes he's got a lot more behind what he's doing.
Well, Bernie's not a guy you would exactly say is cruel to children with cancer.
Right. Who's going to walk up and go, "Yeah, look what he did," and then get his base all riled up.
Some Republican got up already and said, "And look at what Bernie Sanders did to poor kids with cancer."
My point exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Well, how about all those other kids who've got other debilitating diseases that aren't going to be taken care of because there is no Obama bill for them after the first of the year.
That's right.
What we're doing to people, the most difficult thing for them to get in this day and age right now is health care.
Yep.
Second is food.
Yep.
Health care, everybody's premium is going to jump after the first of the year.
Insurance.
Nobody in this country should have trouble getting food. That's disgusting.
Nobody should have any trouble getting medical care.
No, I know, but at least food, for God's sake.
Well, if food and medical care are in the same category. If you don't have any food, you're going to starve to death. If you don't have medical care, you're going to get sick and you'll die of a sliver.
Yeah, I know.
You got infected and you couldn't get the proper care.
Yeah.
So.
Death by sliver.
Yeah. Thank God I can pay for medical care, but I don't want to have to pay all that amount of money. I'd like to have that,
It hasn't affected Medicare yet, so people are fortunate that are on Medicare.
There's a reason why they haven't been able to touch Medicare. And I think that's because it's so part of the law. It's a law in this country. But Medicaid, I think, is a fairly recent thing or something like that. There's a reason why they can go after that. But what they're going after are people. With Medicare, you're going after just people who get Medicare because they reached a certain age of majority and they were paying money into Social Security, and now they can get Medicare. Okay, fine. Medicaid is for people who don't have money and can't afford medical care and need to go to Medicaid in order to take care of that. And, why anybody in this country would stand up against people getting medical care And the money for medical care is beyond me. It just doesn't.
Well, one of the things that's going to affect people on Medicare, in a, I don't know what way you want to call it, is if you have Medicare and you're in an area that's not a big diverse area like Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, or something, smaller hospitals without Medicaid are going to go out of business. And that's going to, even if you have Medicare, you're still going to have to drive that 100 miles to a hospital.
No, look at Kevin, where you live, Kevin. Are any of the hospitals being threatened by this at all?
Not here, but where I was, it's a rural hospital down there in California, and it was it's been through, 2 almost bankruptcies, and it's the only hospital within, the closest one would be Salinas, and the next closest would be San Jose. So 50 miles north and 30 miles south is where this hospital was. And I was about half a mile away from it. But they were going through all that, and then this stuff started, and it got even worse. And when I left, they didn't know what they were going to do.
So if they go out of business, that means that if you got sick, you would have to go 50 miles to get some kind of help.
Yeah, 50 or 30, either way.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just got sick, the way you put it, if you got sick, you'd have to go that far. You could have a doctor that was in town there. If you need emergency medicine, you've had a heart attack or a stroke, that's life and death.
Alan,
yeah.
The Hollister Off-Road Recreation Vehicle Park is right there in town.
Yeah.
And it's like every weekend you'd hear a helicopter come land on top of the
Jesus.
Yeah, it was like, people get hurt up there on the motocrossing and stuff, and they got to get somewhere fast, and
yeah, wow,
it wouldn't happen.
Jesus.
Oh, it's amazing. Wow. Yeah. Do you have any of these same problems where you are, Josh, or is it pretty cool there?
Hospital-wise, you mean?
Yeah.
No, it's fairly densely populated in most of the counties. So, I mean, if you get down in a few counties down here, you'll have some of that, but in the central Columbus area, I mean, there's, 15 hospitals, and they continually do nothing except build onto all of them. At some point, they'll probably all just be connected, and Columbus will be just one great big hospital. So, I mean, I think Ohio State's hospital's 40 stories tall at this point or something like that. It's ridiculous. So.
Is that Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah, that's all they do up there is build fucking hospitals. So, they have them here, but I'm sure in the rural areas they don't have as many, and the ones that they have, I'm sure don't have the quality, care and doctors and things like that, because it's just harder to get people to live in those areas. So those people would have like emergency, service if you were having a car accident or a wreck or something, and most of those are just set up to more or less stabilize you, and then they typically want to transport you to a larger city, so where you can be taken care of better. So rural areas losing their funding for hospitals is a major issue, but a lot of it was cut by recent legislation that the administration pushed through. So, I mean, that's the law now. It's what people voted for. So I guess they just have to suffer and find out what the government was paying for.
Yeah.
Because those hospitals are not able to, compete with, the larger cities. So the rural hospitals suffer. They cannot pay the doctors as much as the big city. So it's harder to attract talent. And then the way that a lot of them were making up for that was by having doctors here from places like India and Pakistan and Japan and places like that. But they have cut those immigration programs so badly that now they are, and a lot of those were on the H-1B visa or whatever. They have cut that stuff so drastically that the hospitals can't afford that either. If they when they changed the fee for that from whatever it used to be, like $5,000 a year or something per whatever to sponsor that, and they want it to be whatever it is now, that crazy amount, the hospitals aren't going to be able to afford that, so they're just going to stop sponsoring those people, and they will return to wherever they're from. So the hospitals are going to lose even more doctors. So you can go anywhere on the internet right now. New York Times, Washington Post, various other major outlets, and probably find half a dozen stories written in the last 30 days about the crisis of rural hospital care that is that we're in, and how it's really in the next year about to go over a cliff, because as this year expires, they're all about to lose their funding, and the visas are going to expire for a good majority of their professional help. And so after about another year, they're just gonna they're not gonna be able to make it. So they will get gobbled up by these larger conglomerates like Ohio Health, or these huge hospitals, and then they will run them like a corporation, and they will close the smaller, not so profitable places, and they will just leave some little one operating room style deal, so that if you get in like I said, in a car wreck and your bone is sticking out of your leg and you're messed up pretty bad, they're just gonna throw an air cast on you and stabilize your vitals and put you on a helicopter and fly you to Columbus.
That's exactly what was going on, down where I was. They had a company from Minnesota, I think it was, called I think it was Insight or something, and they were going to buy up the hospital, and it went through 3-4 votes, a bunch of meetings and everything else, and it went on and off and on and off, and there was big arguments over it, and they finally some of these decisions were being made by the administration, and they just said, you know what, screw it, you're on your own. And now they're back into the same situation where they're trying to struggle to stay open and trying to get somebody to buy them, but that isn't going so well. So I don't know what the hell is going to happen. And like you said, they'll just open an urgent care center
right
real close, and then stick you in there for a minute, dope you up, stick a cast on you, put you on a helicopter, and shoot you up to 50 miles away.
Right.
Yeah.
The only trouble
is sad
who
because
pays
you
for
should be able to go to a local hospital. At least
who pays for the air travel, for emergency air travel like that? Most health care plans don't cover helicopters and aircraft.
Yeah, I used to be on a supplemental kind of what the heck was it called? CalStar, I think it was. And you paid, $60 or $50 a month or a year or something, and they would cover you if you had to get a helicopter somewhere. But I'll tell you what, there was a lot of people down there that were on that.
I'll bet. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I just don't understand it. I've said this for years. I don't understand why anybody in Congress would vote against anything that would help people get medical care. I mean, it boggles my mind, because their job is to protect the American public. And what do they feel they're doing by not giving people medical care? How is that even a political issue? How is it either a right or left issue? It's an issue of life and death. And they should care about their constituencies, and that they get the finest possible medical care they can get. Now, I'm able to get pretty good medical care. I'm lucky. I've got money to do it, okay? But I have other people I know, like our friend Michael Snyder, who does our movie reviews. He's complaining to me that he has all kinds of trouble trying to pay for his medical care, And we have a dear friend that both Kevin and Josh and I know, Patrick, who is in the hospital. He's been in the hospital how long? How many months now?
Yeah, a couple.
About 2 months.
About at least 2 months, at least. And he hasn't had time to get well. All he's had time to do is worry about where the money's going to come from to pay for his medical care and to get adequate medical care. So, I don't understand. What's why does this happen? And it's happened to at least two people I know. And I'm sure if I talk to more people, there are more people out there who would say to me, well, I really can't afford that medical care. That most medical programs are too expensive. Yes, Alan.
Why don't we get a GoFundMe thing for Patrick?
Well, I don't think he needs it now. He's managed to finally figure out something, hasn't he? With the
he's got to do constant appeals. I mean,
yeah, but he's won his appeals, I think.
Oh, okay.
I read and
another one now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's in an okay spot, but I want to see how it works out for him. Trying to organize some kind of effort to help him out is certainly something that I've thought about.
Yeah. But what he has done, he's had to worry about this and not about getting better.
Right.
Well,
he does spend a lot of time dealing with that issue rather than the issue that has him hospitalized.
The only issue he should have to deal with is getting better.
Yeah.
Okay? And the rest should be America, our country, the greatest country in the world, according to some people, should be saying to him, don't worry, we'll take care of you.
That's right.
Well,
if somebody gets a GoFundMe page, I'd like to donate to it.
Yeah. Well, that might be an idea, but we still don't know what he needs and doesn't need. But
yeah, I mean, he's trucking along with it, but it's just that every 7 days or whatever, he has to fill out a book's worth of paperwork and make his case that he isn't able to be released yet.
They should say, are you well yet?
So
and you go,
wrong.
no. And they say, okay, we'll keep paying the bills.
That is so wrong in this country.
Yeah. It makes me ashamed to be an American. Can I say that?
Sure.
I mean, it's just a combination of insurance companies who were able to get laws and rules made that, obviously worked in their favor. And then that combined with a very successful and heavy culture war waged by the Trump campaign in the last several years that convinced many Americans that all of these hospitals were full of immigrants who were getting free services that Americans would never get, and that they were being staffed by illegal immigrants who were there taking American jobs away from code word white people, and that they were just scamming the government, and people listened to it. So, let's close some of the hospitals down and send all the immigrants home, and next time you get in a car accident, just hope it's in a big city, I guess.
You know what happens this time of year? We talk. A lot of people start talking, especially on Fox and stuff like that. The war against Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are we ready to talk about the war against people of color? I mean, it's almost as though what Trump doesn't want is anybody who isn't white in this country.
Yeah.
And
that's what it seems like.
I mean, everything he does has to do with getting people of color out, or rounding them up and sending them somewhere, or trying to deprive them of something.
I think it's coming. I think black people will be next on his list. Just unfortunate.
Well, yeah.
So messed up. It's so messed up.
Yeah. And it's just getting out of hand, and I don't know what we're going to do about it. We got 3 more years of this guy. Wake up, Charlie. We got.
Well, hopefully the midterms something will happen.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well,
I don't count on it.
I'm skeptical that the Democrats can find one foot in front of the other right now.
Well, I mean, the biggest problem, of course, are the Republicans, who go in lockstep with this moron. Okay, that's a big problem. But an even bigger problem is the fact that the Democrats haven't gotten their crap together. And that I have great doubts that they can do so for the midterms. And if they win the midterms, it's going to be by accident. Yeah. I mean, what I see is a perfect confluence of things that could just absolutely have us take over the Senate and the Congress, and it has to do with the fact that when Trump makes a speech like he made the other night, the people sitting at home go, "But that's not true with me," and he's not convincing anybody by simply saying, "You're better off than you've ever been." Well, try and tell the people out. They go to the grocery store and they see the prices of groceries, and that's a big lie to them. And
he's never gone to our president has never gone to pick up any bagels or anything.
Well, I think I saw him once. I seem to remember maybe, I don't know, the last time he ran, that he went to a grocery store.
Really?
And he was amazed by the scanners.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And everybody had to tell him, they've been around a while, because when's the last time he's been to a grocery store?
Never.
He says groceries is an old-fashioned word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a word we hear often, groceries.
I'll tell you a new term I like, ex-president,
Yeah.
But anyway, and then I watched Jimmy Kimmel, and Kimmel was thanking his audience tearfully for the way they reacted to things this year, because this was the year that they really went out and tried to silence people who were on broadcast that didn't agree with Trump.
Yep.
And Kimmel led the charge because he got out of it by winning. And, it of course pissed off Trump no end.
Mm-hmm.
Once Colbert is gone, there are only two of them really in late night, Fallon and Kimmel. Kimmel will probably be number one because Colbert is number one right now. But it's interesting, number one and number two are people who constantly barrage Trump.
That's what I love about this country. We can listen to those people.
Yeah, but does it do anything? Does it change anything? That's my question.
I feel better when I listen to.
Well, you feel better, but that's only because you're saying what you want to hear. I mean, I tell Marjorie all the time, the reason you watch MSNBC or MS Now, they call it, is because those people agree with you, and you want to have your feelings verified. But it doesn't do anything. It doesn't change anything, because do you think any right-wingers are listening to MS Now? Do you think any of them are watching The Daily Show? Do you think any of them are watching Colbert? No.
And they don't listen to his speeches, and they just hear the summary from Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they think is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they're living in this bubble that tells them everything's great right now.
Right. Exactly.
And
Do
Fox
we know
shields
anything-
them from the stupid things he says.
Yeah, absolutely. What were you saying, Jeff?
Did we find out anything about the people who got killed in the Boston college?
Well, they found the guy, or they say they found the guy.
They said they had it.
I don't see the
He
connection.
was dead, right?
Yeah, he was dead. He shot himself, and
the Brown University one,
but I don't know that that's necessarily the right answer, because what they did is this was like the gang that couldn't shoot straight up there. They couldn't find the right guy. First, they got a guy, and they had to let him go because he wasn't the guy, and then it went on and on and on. And they were looking for him for another 5 days, and all of a sudden they found him, and he was dead in his storage locker.
And I don't understand the tie together between him and the professor that he supposedly killed.
Well, I just think they're trying to. I don't know. They haven't proved to me that was the guy, but it's easy to say he is the guy because he's dead.
Yeah.
Can't
deny it.
Yeah,
and that's our great FBI for you. They're so smart.
Well, there are a lot of good people in the FBI, but they're not being allowed to do their job. That's the problem.
That's one thing.
They've
The
purged a good
director's
number of
not one of the
agents
good
in the
people.
last-
What were you saying?
They have purged a good number of agents in the last year.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
Yes.
a lot of good people have left.
Yes.
And and it's a shame. It's really a shame. But I mean, I just don't know that that was the guy. I mean, I'd like to have it proven to me that that was the guy. But just because they say it was doesn't mean it is. You know.
It's just poorly presented, let's say.
Yeah.
Well, it's
This
very
morning.
suspicious because the first person that they presented was not right,
Yep.
and then the guy they find happens to be dead. And
Well,
plus,
you
it's
know,
Cash Patel who's totally corrupt. So who knows?
Right. Right. The first person thing applies. We had that happen when we had the terrorist bombing in Atlanta during the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Richard
whatever
Jewell.
they picked out a security
yeah.
guard that totally was innocent.
Richard Jewell
so-
ruined his life.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Didn't he
think he
sue the
died
government
young.
though and get some money out of that finally? I believe he did.
A little bit. I think, like,
I don't
not
know,
much.
but sometimes they get the wrong person, and hopefully they do the right thing and release him and make him whole again.
And
They
didn't
did
though.
not
He.
do. Which they did not do with Richard Jewell.
No.
So
Well, they said it isn't him, and that's it. They left it at that. But they
That's it.
didn't. They didn't
That's it.
apologize. They didn't. Yeah.
yeah.
I was in that park
He was
2
a
days.
hero.
I was in that
He
park.
was actually a hero.
I was in that park 2 days before the explosives went off. Yeah.
He was a hero. He saved a lot of people,
Yeah.
and because he saved a lot of people, he got picked out as suspect number one.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out, and no, it's not him. Goodbye. And no apologies, no nothing.
Yeah. Well, that happens.
That's all
Anyway,
right,
so
though.
we're coming up on the holiday season, and I wish you all the best of everything. The people here especially have been regular callers to this program, and there's some others who aren't here tonight who I also appreciate as well and want to thank for their participation over the year. It means a lot to me, that you'll...
And this is the last show for 2 weeks?
Hmm?
Is this the last show for 2 weeks?
This is the last show of the Ramble that we'll do for 2 weeks. We will do Monday. We'll be here with the pop-up show, and then I'm going to do it the following Monday as well, the pop-up show, and then I'm going to do on New Year's Eve. I'll do a little New Year's Eve show for about a half hour, 45 minutes or something, starting at about 11:30 Eastern.
11:30. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've been doing it the last couple of years, and Marjorie's asleep anyway. So, and I'm sitting around just, playing with myself, and I have nothing to do. So why not spend it with people I love and care about, And
I don't know. If I had that opportunity, I think I'd stay with playing with myself.
Just make sure you're done playing with yourself. before
I
you
will
come
be
on.
finished playing with myself by the time we do the New Year's show. Okay, I promise. Okay, all right.
Thank God.
Anyway, there goes our theme song. Boy, have a good, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy New Year as well. And thanks again for your participation. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff. Always great. Thanks to our good friend Charlie up there, and Kevin, and Alan, and Josh, and Ray. And there are a lot of other people who call on a regular basis, like Brian Neary and so on, who I would also like to thank. But they're usually here on Monday, so I'll thank them on Monday. Anyway, everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you for the last time this year, and see you back
have a
here.
good holiday.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Everybody stay safe. Stay safe.
When am I going to be back on with the Ramble? The 7th of January. Anyway, everybody, wave goodbye. I'll wave goodbye at you. And where is my... here we go. There we go. Anyway, thanks to all of them for being here. I really appreciate it. And thanks to you for joining me and being part of this over the year. And we'll see you sometimes over the holidays. But in the meantime, we'll see you back here with the Ramble on January 7th Meanwhile, we go over to Amy Manuel. She's going to be doing her little show called The Intersection, and that you can call her on Zoom. Just go to Gabnet, third column, down at the bottom of the page. Her name is there. Click on that, and you can talk to her. In the meantime, let's see here. Well, I'll see you on the 7th. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, of course, tell her I love her, will you? Thanks a lot. Have a nice vacation.